Why is it when you are on a Zoom call, like planes start flying over, people are sawing things, it's so loud, right? Um, so I'm so excited about this morning. So this is something that I've been waiting for about a week and a half now. So I'm excited it's actually happening. I asked Dina, who went to Ruby on the Rise at corporate this last week, and Ruby on the Rise is kind of a new thing. It's a new program that Plexus is doing. So I'm so excited to hear all the things that she took away from that trip. But when you hit Ruby, they will send you to corporate. Um, and they'll do training, and you will meet with Alec in his office, just really cool things happening. So I'm so excited that Ruby Ambassador Dina Sullivan is going to be sharing, and I cannot wait to hear. So I'll let her take it away, sis.
Yay. Yay. Thank you. My voice is kind of scratchy, so you're gonna have to deal with it. Okay, so this is gonna be really, really raw in me sharing. I've got my trusty little red journal here that they gave us at Ruby's on the Rise. And I'm gonna be flipping through it and just kind of pulling some stuff out as I go through here. Um, but I'm going to share some things with you that this trip meant to me. I'm going to jump in, but I want you to remember this number, 28. I'm going to come back to that number in a minute, but for right now, just hang on to it, remember it. I want to start just kind of by telling you what the experience was like. So we flew out early Thursday morning. We headed out to Scottsdale. Now, for me, this was kind of a special thing because I didn't have to Uber. Because I have a good college friend I have not seen in 30 years. And she was my Uber. She came and picked me up, and we got to go have lunch together before I headed over to the hotel. So that was special for me. And then we went to the hotel. And when we got to the hotel, it was really nice. We were all in our own rooms, which I'm going to be honest with you, I'm 50 years old. I've never stayed in a hotel room by myself ever. And I've stayed in plenty of hotel rooms, but this was the first. But it was really nice to have your own room, just to go back to and chill, whatever, when you need to. There wasn't a lot of time to just go to your room and chill because it was only 2 short days, and you wanted to really soak in everything and every bit of time that you had with the other Ruby ambassadors who were there. Some of them were senior Ruby, and it was just fun being able to make all those connections. But we got there Thursday morning, we got checked in our hotels, all the good stuff. They brought a bus over and they picked us up at the hotel and they bussed us over to corporate. Now, when I tell you they bussed us over to corporate, I mean they took us to corporate, and we get off the bus and we go to walk into the lobby of corporate offices. And every single employee has come out of their offices. They are lining the way as you walk in the door. They're standing up over the balcony above the front desks and everything, and you walk in, and there's the iconic little red Plexus car that you see in all the videos and stuff that people take pictures with. I took one picture with it. You may have seen it. And there's all of the big, huge, oversized models of the skin health system that was at convention. And they're just sitting there in the lobby. And then you've got the store that you can go in and purchase products if you didn't take enough ease with you, like me. Or you could buy like shirts, cups, all the Plexus things that you can imagine. And all these people at corporate are just lying in the way, and they're cheering you and they're clapping for you. And it's like literally like this royal treatment. Like you feel like you are a queen. You are walking into something and you feel like you matter. Like they believe in you. They believe in us. They believe in me, right? Like it was such a huge experience. So we go in, and then Alec is there, and our trusty president, and he gets up there, and he talks for just a little bit, congratulates us, welcomes us, tells us he can't wait to spend the next 2 days with us because he's popping in and out the whole 2 days. And then they take us back to a room, and we got to do something that really touched my heart because I love being able to do things like this. But they took us into a room. They had these little bins with shampoo, deodorant, toothbrushes, all those things. And there is a local church that they work with to do this ministry. And they let us be a part of that by helping
From the
to
moment we
pack
enter the
little
world, we're
Ziploc
immersed
bags
in the
of
opinions of others.
toiletry
We were
items
held
for
praised,
homeless
or
people.
ignored begins to weave the
So
fabric of our
we
identity.
got to do that, and that was really
As
cool.
infants,
And then when we got to the end of finishing that up, they split us into 4 small groups. And they started taking us on a tour of corporate offices. We got to go around to all the offices and meet people that we haven't met, or see people we have met, but actually get a closer up one-on-one conversation with them. We saw, Ashley Howard, Jory Russell. If you haven't met the fairly new Yvette Torres Dixon, she's amazing too. Got to spend time talking to all of them. And then we got to go into Alex's office. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. You don't have to answer me, but I want you to think about this. What company will take their ambassadors into the president's office and let you sit in his office and have conversation with him and just chit chat about life and everything, and where the company is going and what you're doing and how you're making a difference in the company? But that's what they did. We got to go just sit down. And before we left, Alex looked at us and he said, okay, before you leave my office, get your phones out. I'm going to give you my personal cell phone number. Text me, tell me who you are so I know who you are. And then anytime you have questions, text me. What president of a company gives their personal cell phone number out to people like that? It doesn't happen, y'all. We are in a company that is real, that is legit, that loves their people. And that really impacted me. We continued our tour, we over to the warehouse. And I'm telling you, if you've never experienced something like walking through the warehouse, you think, oh, we're just going to look at a bunch of boxes or whatever. But to be able to see how they actually pack the packages and how the packages are sorted, and to be able to hear how low of an injury rate they have in their warehouse. I mean, things like that seem like, why would we want to know that? But I mean, these are all amazing things. And to be able to talk about how much product goes out of the warehouse each day. And I mean, it's just so amazing. One of the things that really struck me while I was there was the culture that they have there at corporate. I left saying to myself, if I lived in Scottsdale and I didn't have a job, I was looking for a job, I'd want to work there at corporate offices. Or if my child needed a job, I would want them to work at corporate, because the culture that they provide for their employees is absolutely amazing. Think about the culture and the things that they do for us as ambassadors, and then imagine being in that every single day, because that's what it's like. It's amazing. They showed us the little area where they eat lunch every day, and they had snacks and all kinds of stuff for us there at the end of our tour. And the next day, in the middle of our training for lunch, they did something special. It was National Hispanic Month, I think, or something. And so they had like 2 different types of stations set up with like Hispanic type foods. And all of their employees and all of us who were there for Rubies on the Rise got to go in there and have our lunch, like choose one of the food trucks to get our food from and have lunch. It was really cool. And then we just got to literally go into the dining area and sit amongst all the people there who work for corporate, and eat lunch with them. So it's super, super, super cool. It was just, we had time that we got to spend together, hanging out, going to dinner together on Thursday night, just choosing where we wanted to go. And then on Friday night, they did a really nice meal for us. So we got to do that too. But our training was absolutely amazing. We had 2 diamonds, Sheila Medina and Jamie Haskin, who were our trainers. And it was a super, super, super time of having them pour into us. I want to come back to that number that I asked you to remember, though, 28. 28 is about the number of people that maybe we usually have on our Power 30 calls. 28 is less than the number of days we usually have in a month. 28 is not that big of a number, right? But 28 is the number of ambassadors that we had at Rubies on the Rise. Just 28 people. And I tell you that because, y'all, I walked in there not knowing what to expect whatsoever. I didn't know if there were going to be 3 of us or 200 of us. Literally had no clue. I didn't know who was going to be there, who I was going to know, or anything. And I walked in and I literally didn't know any of the 28 rubies that were there. but it was such an amazing experience to get to know all of them. But 28 people, and they made you feel like you were royalty, you were special, and you are. I want you to envision what I'm telling you right now, because we didn't get there by accident. We got there because we worked hard to begin with. We got ourselves there because we worked for it, and it was totally worth everything we put into it. It was worth every single thing we put into getting there. And being able to sit in that room of these 28 ladies, some who are just like blowing it up in their business right now, some who are like, I'm barely even Ruby anymore. I don't even know if I am worthy of being here. Like, you have people who have different mindsets sitting around the room. And if I'm being very honest with you, I'm going to tell you, I needed this weekend, because we go through hard seasons. We go through seasons where we feel like we're just like exploding in our businesses. And I was feeling like I'm kind of in a hard season with my business. Sometimes we feel like we've got like 20,000 people signing up a month. And then some months we're looking at it and we're going, where are the people? Where are people coming from? And then sometimes we're like, okay, I've got like a lot of people who are reordering this month. And then the next month it's like, wow, nobody's reordering, or people are saying they're not going to keep using the products. We go through different stages in our businesses. And so when I went to Ruby's on the Rise, I was kind of in one of those stages where I'm like, okay, am I even worthy of being in this room with these people? And I went, and let me just tell you, I am. And I just want to share a few things that they shared with us, because I'm hoping that these things can inspire you like they did. I'm telling you, I'm going to be flipping through my little red book, so that I can tell you these things. But Sheila Medina really impacted me. Um, we started off our entire day of training with Alec coming in, and he was congratulating us and stuff. And he said, other companies are going affiliate marketing and they're giving up on themselves, but we're not. He said, when they're walking away, we're leaning in and we're getting ready to close out 2025 strong and go into 2026 even stronger. And he said, don't be afraid to lean into this with us. Don't be afraid to remember your why and to go after your why. He said, you want to pick up your momentum and you want to move into this with us. You don't want to sit back and just let it fly by. So then Sheila started talking, and this is what I really want to convey to y'all today. That when she started talking to us, she said, you have to have belief. You have to have belief in the products. You have to have belief in the company. You have to have belief in the comp plan, and you have to have belief in yourself. And so I want to talk about those four things for just a minute. The products. I would say almost everybody on this call believes in the products. Like, we have seen the testimonies, we've shared the testimonies, we are the testimonies, we believe in the products. If we didn't believe in the products, we wouldn't share them. If you're sharing the products, but you don't believe in them, you're probably never going to progress. You need to believe in the products from the beginning. But I dare to say we all believe in the products, right? So that's the first thing. But then you have to believe in the comp plan. Do you truly believe people can make money with this compensation plan that we have? Sheila shared some of the wording that she uses when she talks to people at the comp plan, and I thought it was pretty low-key genius. And so I just want to share it. Like, these are not things that we've not heard before, but sometimes it just helps to hear it again in a different way from different people. She said, if you just share with a few people, I can show you how to make some money. You can get your products covered, or you can do something fun with it. Like, how easy does that sound? It doesn't sound threatening. It doesn't sound cringy. It doesn't sound salesy. It just sounds simple. And then she said, I can help you make $37 today, tomorrow, and I can help you make over $300 by the end of the month. And then she even suggested, don't use words like fast start, because when you use words like fast start, it just confuses starters, like people from the beginning. Don't use words like that to start off with. She said, I'll tell people, let's help you make $300. I can help you make six figures, but let's start by helping you make $300 and we'll build from there. And then when she gets them in the $300, then she'll tell them what fast start is. She'll start using those bigger words. So you have to believe in the comp plan. You have to believe that it's something you can actually succeed with and make money with. Then she said you have to believe in the company. One of the things that Alex said to us is that we are a debt-free company. I know you've heard that before. And he said, we don't say that to brag. We say that because it's something that we have been able to accomplish that is like amazing. And there aren't other companies out there who are being able to accomplish the same thing. Yes, we're an MLM, and sometimes that seems cringy to people, and people get scared of that. But he said, honestly, think about it. Have you heard of TikTok? Have you heard of Amazon? I mean, hello, think about like influencers and actors who are promoting products. Everybody is buying from something. So why should people not buy from us? Right? So he said, remember
Dina,
that.
sorry, Dina, I want to pop in here because I just think that's so powerful. What you're saying is like, we're living in the age of influencer. We are living in the age of influencers, and it is only skyrocketing.
Mhm.
So that is absolutely genius to think of it that way. It's like,
Mhm.
how can I help you make money on using your social media? Like, this is a no-brainer. And when we switch our mindset from thinking about like, oh no, I don't want to share network marketing, and sharing more from a place of like, look, this is the it thing. Like, what if we thought network marketing is the it thing? So,
Yeah.
so that's such a brilliant thought. I love that.
Yeah. And one of the other things about it is that the beauty of what we're doing is that it doesn't require us to carry inventory. Okay, I did another company back in the day. I did spa parties. And I had to carry like these big dish bins that I let people soak their feet in, and towels and washcloths so I could do massages for them. And I had to carry the actual inventory. So I'd have like coolers full of inventory because the inventory couldn't get too hot or any of that other kind of stuff. And then I would have to go home at the end of every night. You get 20 women in here soaking their feet. Well, I got to go home and bleach all those tubs or throw them away and go buy new ones. And I got to go bleach all those towels and washcloths. Y'all, it was a lot of work. The beauty of this is we don't have to do any of that. There is no inventory. There is none of that kind of stuff that we have to do. You purchase your personal products. That's it. Okay. And then you share. So then the last thing that she said was that you have to have belief in yourself. And I'm going to venture out and say this is probably the area where people struggle the most. If I asked you to raise your hand, you would probably and tell me which one you struggled with the most. This is probably the one you'd raise your hand for. And so she talked about it, and she said, you've got to have your belief in yourself, and you've got to believe that you can get to where you want to go. She said, the truth is that you can. You can change everything for your family. And she said, ask yourself, why not you? Why not me? And she said, you don't have to be perfect. She said, matter of fact, the more imperfect you are, the better, because people don't want perfect people, right? I mean, when I get a text from somebody or a message from somebody and it sounds perfect and it sounds like they copied it from ChatGPT and they probably sent the same message to 20 people, I don't read it. I don't respond to it. It doesn't mean anything to me. Like, people don't want perfect. They don't. So then here's what I want to say. She said, I want you to think about a couple of things. She said, the first thing I want you to think about is what kind of leader do you want to be in your next season? I don't care where you are right now. I don't care if you're in an easy season where things are like flourishing, or if you're in a hard season where you're like, where are my people? If you're in any kind of season, I want you to think about, okay, now what is my next step? Where do I want to be next? And she said she wanted us to write down like where, like think about our next season. What did we want to be? And these are the things that I wrote down. I want to be someone who attracts others. I want to be someone who helps others win. I'm about to cry talking about this. It's hard. It's like, this is what we want. Like, what do you want? Write this down. I want to be somebody who is present and there for other people. I want to be somebody who's fearless and bold, somebody who is a leader of leaders. Think about what kind of leader you want to be in the next season and write those things down. I could probably go on. That's just what I wrote down in that moment. And then we moved on. But if I really took time, I could probably write more and more and more down. And then she said, think about who you are doing this for. Besides yourself, who are you doing this for? I'm doing this for, well, we're empty nesters now. So I don't know if I'm necessarily saying I'm doing it for my family, but I am still doing it for my family. But I'm also doing it for me and my husband. We are no spring chickens. We're going to want to retire one day soon. Right now, there's no chance that we could do that. I'm building something to help us to be able to retire. I'm doing it so I can share with other people as a ministry. That's something that's really important to me, to be able to see a need that people have and to be able to help them meet that need, whether that's they're struggling in their health or they need to make some extra income or they just need friends to hang out with and belong to. How can I be a blessing? How can I use this as a ministry and be a blessing to other people? And I'm doing this for people I can give to. Scott and I love to be able to give to other people, to help people in times of need. We don't always have the means to be able to do that, but that's one of the reasons I'm doing this, to give us that freedom to have the extra, to be able to give to people. So first, what kind of leader do you want to be in the next season? Who are you doing this for? And then if you fully stepped into your potential, what would that look like? Okay, now I want you to think about this, because when she asked that, I'm thinking to myself, okay, is she talking about if I fully step into showing up on social media twice a day, boom, done? No, she's not. If you step into your full potential, like if you are giving this an actual go, you're showing up on social media, but you're messaging people and you're talking to people everywhere you go. Let me just tell you, I talk to people everywhere I go about Plexus. When I got to Arizona Thursday morning at 9 o'clock, I had already connected with 3 people in my flight path and gotten their information, given samples to people, and in good conversations. By the time I returned home, I had five or six solid leads of people that I had connected with in the 2 days that I was gone. I talk to people everywhere I go about Plexus. But we have to show up on social media. We have to show up in person talking to people. We have to message people. We have to reach out to our current customers. We have to reach out to our current workers. You have to be doing things. If you actually set time every week that you're going to work your business, because that's what it takes. You can't just show up when you feel like it and then like not work for 4 days and then come back. Like if you actually gave it a go, your full potential, everything, put everything you had into it, what would that look like? Well, for me, I know I would be Emerald or beyond by convention next year. I would probably be beyond. What does that look like for you? Where you are right now, how could you get to where? And then always be dreaming about it, like constantly be thinking about how you can get there, dreaming about it, praying about it. What is the next step? What do I need to do? And she said, if you aren't bringing people in with you to do this, and I'm not talking about getting people on products. She said, if you're not bringing people in to do this with you, then it's not going to be fun. If you're getting to senior gold by yourself, it's not going to be easy or fun. If you're getting to Ruby, can it be done? Yeah, because I almost did senior gold by myself. It's not as fun as if you have people doing it with you. Be a leader of leaders so that you're bringing people in to do it with you. There's so much as I flip through this book that I can share. There's so much. She said mindset. She said vision is the spark, but your mindset is the fuel that is going to take that vision and multiply it. She talked about failure, fear of failure. And she said, failure is your friend. We've talked about this so many times. I know we have. She talked about it. She said, failure is your friend. Nobody ever succeeded without failing first. You have to fail, and you have to give yourself permission to move past any paralysis that you're feeling in your business. If you're feeling paralyzed in your business, you have to give yourself permission to move out of that, or you're going to stay there. Okay. I'm going to give you a couple of little things I'm going to kind of bring this together. These are a couple of things I feel like you could do based on everything we've talked about, just to kind of help you get moving forward. Let's call it an action plan. Okay. So the first thing is set one mindset goal for yourself for this week. Like what needs to change about your mindset to help you be able to move the needle forward. Make one mindset goal for this week and then share it with an accountability partner. If you don't have an accountability partner, you need to go get one tomorrow, today, yesterday. You need an accountability partner. Set your mindset goal for this week. Share it with your accountability partner. And then I'm going to even say, reach out to your upline, share it with your upline, ask them for advice, ask them for what their thoughts are on your mindset goal. Don't ask them to create a mindset goal for you. That needs to come from you. But ask them how they see that you could get over what you're going through to set that goal and like succeed at that goal. And then make sure that whatever you're doing, whatever your goal is, that it is aligning with the vision that you have for your business. If you want to be multiplying and duplicating, then make sure that your mindset goal is going to lean into that and help you be able to multiply and duplicate. Multiplying and duplicating by example, by showing your team how to do the things that they need to do because you're doing them too and they see you doing them. So set a mindset goal for this week. Share it with an accountability partner and reach out to your upline. And I'm stopping there, though there's so much more I could share. That's it. That's all I got. Lisa, Alita, y'all got anything?
I love it. And you know what? You're so good at painting the picture. Like I felt like I was walking into corporate with you. I was seeing the store. I was seeing the food trucks. I was seeing all that stuff. And you're going to have to come back because I want to hear all of it. Because I know when they ask people to do these trainings, they're getting the cream of the crop, you know? And when you share it with us, it's like we're getting that same training. And you're so good at training yourself. So definitely, I want to hear more about it. So thank you. I'm so glad you went. It was interesting to me because she had a big hurdle. She had thought that she had bought her plane ticket and hadn't. So then she had to go and find a flight to get out there, you know, the last minute. So I'm so glad. Sometimes those hurdles, like once you get over them, you're like, okay, I see why that hurdle was put there, right? Like sometimes that's a real thing. So thank you so much. You guys go in our Energy Best and tell people they need to watch the recording of this because truly it's painting a vision that all of us need to see. It doesn't matter what rank you are. You need to first have that reminder. And second, just know that, listen, we are all seen and valuable, just like she talked about. And I love that you used the number 28 because that's going to stick with me. I'm like, girl, you better be telling me about what that 28's about. So you guys go drop some love for Dina. Thank you so much. I loved this so much. So valuable. Ciao. Go have an amazing day.